All right, guys, so it's been 3 years since Croc School actually has been operating because of COVID. I'm here with Jim Darlington at the St. Augustine Alligator Zoological Park. And my gosh, look at this. We got some gators in here. And actually, this is pretty cool because I haven't been here in a few months. This is an aquascape ecosystem that was put in. So shout out to my friends at Aquascape. This is beautiful. What do you call this?
Northern Territory. I mean, it's the northern part of our zoo.
There you go. Okay. I want to get to the Northern Territory one day. I got to get to Darwin in Australia. So if you live in Darwin, be prepared. I'm coming. But anyhow, guys, so today it's Croc School. And it's the capture portion of the school. Now, there is a whole week's worth of academic classes, correct?
Yeah, I mean, everything. They have a wet lab, practical stuff, a lot of classroom work, lots of PowerPoint presentations.
Okay.
And then they're on AZA's dime during all that. Well, then the last Saturday they're on our dime.
Okay.
And they actually get to touch things and learn how to manipulate things and capture and restrain them safely, and with the animal's interest in mind as well.
Yeah, very cool. So this is a course that you guys offer because so many of the participants, these are all people that work in either AZA accredited facilities or they're working in other zoological institutions across the country and even globe, correct?
Right.
And you've had people from all over the world come here.
Yeah, Australia, Africa, Hong Kong, yeah.
That's amazing. And so, you know, what would be the prime reason for some of these keepers to get down here and do this? And as we talk, guys, I'm going to move over here so we can
have new keepers to a reptile department staff, and they want them to be part of the team that has to know how to manipulate these animals. Or you can have a zoo that just acquired some crocodilia for the first time, and they want to send their student or keepers to, you know, learn how to do this.
That's very cool.
Oh, you have turnover too. You know, people at zoos turn over and send new staff all the time.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, so right now they're using the catch poles, and very difficult to catch these guys in the water, but this situation in captivity, obviously these animals can't go too far, so this is kind of fun. And a lot of times this is the first time many of these students actually have had some real hands-on experience, so it's just awesome. So many of you guys who watch our channel, they're always like, how can I do what you do, and how can I become a professional keeper? Obviously, if you're going to be a professional keeper, the route usually is college. Oh, we got some action up top too.
Yeah, there's zoo school, you know, Santa Fe Teaching Zoo in Gainesville. It's you can learn how to be a zookeeper and get a 2-year degree, and we've hired a lot of people from there.
That's fantastic. All right. What's really cool, in addition to getting to work with these animals, guys, you also have biologists, doctors. Matt Shirley is here. He is a doctor of biology. He's a reptile expert, crocodile expert, and does a lot of work in Africa. And that was a nice catch.
Yeah. Everybody starts out too. They're usually a little too gentle with our animals, you know, because they're not their animals. So some captures are real soft. And
yeah, and when you say gentle, it's like, explain that. This is a very powerful animal, even at this size.
A lot of times when I put that noose on him, I really kind of set the hook per se and give it a little snap, and you saw he was really easy with it.
Yeah.
And when you jump on them and try to do their thing, they're usually very, very soft on the animal and stuff. That's fun.
So let's listen to what Matt's going to say.
Come around on either side, okay? So effectively, you look at how long the animal is, and that is about your safety zone, okay? So if you're standing here, virtually nothing can happen to you. The second you put your foot right there, he can grab you, okay? So as you're walking around and you're being careful of the animal and you're kind of figuring out your strategy, just keep this radius in mind, all right? And then nothing bad's gonna be going wrong, okay? Second thing is, notice, where do I have my stick here?
Between you and him.
Always between me and the animal, right? So that way if he decides he wants to come up this way, he's gonna hit the pole, not my leg, okay? Beyond that, there's just you can put that rope down because we don't need that. Who's got tape?
Tape.
You do now?
All right, would you give it to Rachel? Okay, so there's a couple different ways we can do this, and I think because we're starting with an alligator, and because I have autonomy to make this decision, does anybody feel comfortable jumping on this animal with his mouth not closed? you're too late. You're holding the pole. Yeah. This is
I've
pretty-
never jumped an animal.
Never jumped an animal.
I probably could.
Probably good.
Yeah, I could do it.
Okay, so why don't you come back here? You're gonna get behind the animal. And since you're gonna be jumping the animal, you're gonna get the tape to somebody else. With me. All right. So there's basically 2 rules here, guys, when you're at the moment of catching an animal. All right. 1, look around, make sure you're ready, you're comfortable, confident. A couple things to keep in mind: things like rocks, roots, etc. If you jump on this animal and you land a knee on a rock or a root, what's going to happen? It's going to hurt real fucking bad, and it's going to throw off your concentration. So you're basically just going to look around and make sure that this, like, you feel comfortable jumping the animal here. If you don't, ask him to move it. Okay. Second thing is, make sure that you're ready. All right. Because you got to be fast. All right. Final thing is, when you decide to do it, fucking do it. Don't hesitate. It's hesitations, it's the halfway stops, it's the midair, oh shit, second doubts that give you the biggest problem. Okay? So, things to remember about the biology of these animals: they like to go in the other direction from where you want them to go. Alright? So, this is going to work to your advantage in several ways. One, if you have Doug pulling pressure this way, that animal's going to want to back up this way, and he's basically keeping tension on himself. Like, he's distracting himself, and that tension on that cable means there's a less chance of him, like, swinging around, okay? And then what you can do is you can grab his tail, and you pull him back a little bit in the same way, and you're, like, basically straightening him out, putting a bunch of tension, and that is going to further prevent him from being able to jump. Alright. Alright. So he's pretty chill, super quiet, we got a bunch of tension, right? The basic motion from here is 1 step, jump, hands on the neck. All right? Can we demonstrate?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and we're going to learn this actually with some of these other animals. Kind of want to get a little bit tired, get the fight out of them. Fortunately, the alligators are all pretty big babies. And so right now he's super chill, but basically. All right? So, a couple things you notice here. Right before I jumped, I give that tail a nice big push, or pull back towards me. That keeps him straightened out, and it might also get him going a little bit forward, okay? 1 step, I'm down. You notice where my hands landed, on the neck, okay? This is where we're controlling the animal from. You don't want to land on the head, you don't want to land on the shoulders. This is critical. You want to land your hands on the neck, okay? The second thing you noticed is that my hands and my ass and my body all came down on this animal at about the same time, right? Like, if anything lands a little bit first, you want it to be your hands, not your ass, okay? And the reason for that is, if your ass lands first, he feels you, and then he swings around right where your hands are, all right? Do me a favor, just grab his tail. All right, so, and like, you want to keep it straightened out, like, put that pole down, and just hold on to his tail, all right? So, you notice this animal's struggling a little bit. I can make the decision to have somebody come back here, pull the animal's tail, and like help me out with it. If it's a much bigger animal, they might want to come in and grab the back feet, pull the back feet off the ground. You're basically taking away his leverage points. Alright? And then so from here, we have 2 options for how to proceed. You can let him go and come around the front now. 2 options for how to proceed. 1, I can work my hands up around the animal's mouth, close his jaws, have somebody come in real fast with the tape, and seal him up. 2, if I don't feel comfortable, or if this animal's fighting a lot, or he's too big for my hands or your hands or whatever, you can ask your mouth pull guy person to come in and close up the mouth for you. All right? Okay.
With your hands where they are right now,
Uh-huh.
if something were to happen, you could potentially get it under. Is that
Good.
fine? Or, I mean, obviously not fine.
Oh,
but-
underneath my fingers underneath the cable?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be terrible. I definitely wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
Right? But so this is where I've got this animal under control, so now Doug, you can just release a little bit of tension there, so there's not really a risk, all right? But you definitely want to be mindful of that. And this is like, I don't do a whole lot of stuff in captivity, but like, and these types of snare pulls are really good in captivity, but like, we would never use it in the wild, right? So it's, you definitely have to be aware of that.
Why is that?
Wild animals, you don't just walk up to them and catch them like this. And so what we use are, they're called self-locking snares. They're basically the same snares the fur trappers use, right? And so the cable goes around their neck, you cinch it tight, and it just gets tighter. So there's no chance of it like coming down and losing the animal, basically. All right, so I'm here. We we can tape this animal up if you want, if it makes you feel more comfortable for your first jump. Or I can jump off and you can do it from the beginning.
We can tape since he's already there.
All right.
We have it.
This is really cool because these guys
I've
get
got my
hands-on
hand in front of the
information.
table now. There's no chance of my fingers going in there. And basically, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna slide my hands down to the side. I'm gonna work them up like this. I got fingers on the top, fingers on the bottom, all right? Like this, there's nothing this animal can do. Even if he starts swinging, what I can do is I can pull my hands back real quick, or I can just keep them going forward and I won't get in the animal's mouth. The idea is, as you're moving forward, you want to close the animal's jaw, okay? I like to put the meat of my thumbs right in his eyes, so it closes his eyes, that calms him down. And then the second that I feel comfortable, I'll do this. All right. Wait, nope. There's a rule.
Wait until you say it.
Until I say.
Yep.
All right. So, come on in and do it quickly. There you go. You go around, let's say 3 times. Do it one more, just for good measure. And then you want to break it off on the top. No. Just pull it. No, just pull it. There you go. All right. Oh, too old for this shit. All right. Doug, do me a favor. We're gonna walk this animal forward a little bit. I'm gonna show you guys the dismount. All right. The next time we dismount off this animal, his jaws are gonna be untaped. Okay. So when you're going ready, well, actually they probably don't. They don't have to be. We can use a mouth rope and all that sort of stuff. But if you want to dismount after the animal's untaped, basically the procedure is the exact opposite. So head up, somebody takes off the tape, working my hands back very gradually, back to the neck. This will already be gone, okay? Check the surroundings, decide which way you want to go, and then one fluid motion, back, all right? Straight back, or back off to the side a little bit. Never come forward and never put yourself back in the danger zone, all right? Any questions so far?
So, order of things: noose, jump, secure the mouth. Yeah, if this was a bigger one, then we would use the rope, right, to go around the arm.
Exactly. I mean, you can even use the rope for a smaller animal, right?
Yeah.
But that just wasn't necessary in that situation. The rope would come in handy if they're like in the pool, for example, and we just can't get the snare around them or whatever. Okay? Questions? Let's practice some jumping.
This is actually so cool to see keepers that are just kind of getting their bearings with
So
these
what I would
animals.
suggest,
I love the enthusiasm. I remember the nerves I had.
pulling
And
forward a
so,
little bit. So Doug, you can
very cool. They are
go
asking the
that way,
best
'cause
questions
yeah,
too.
that way just look at all these roots and stuff here, and the ground is a bit uneven. Right? Ideally, you work in the flat ground scenario. Okay? So whenever you're ready, you're going to come back behind him, grab his tail. Okay? Give it a little shake. See if he's got any roll or fight or anything in him. All right? Doug wants you walking forward just a little bit. There we go. Okay. And whenever you're ready.
So I just drop tail, hands, knees,
So don't just drop the tail, kind of like pull the tail
pull the, that's right.
at right about the same time you're gonna leap, take your step and leap. All right? And you're kind of coming from the side a little bit. I would try and come from not directly behind because you got to get your feet around
Right.
that tail, but just be aware of entering this zone. You basically want one foot in and on the animal.
Okay. All right.
Ask him if he's ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All
right.
right. I'm ready.
Okay. So, what do you guys think? How'd she do?
A little bit overshot the front limbs there. But
A little bit overshot. What did you notice?
Her knees hit first. It sounded like.
Her knees hit about first, and the other thing she did when she took that first step, she basically put her foot right in the back crotch or back elbow of this animal. And she got lucky. She was about 1 millimeter from touching it. But had she touched that animal right there, he would have been like, what are you? And come around on her, okay? So just be careful of that. All right, you can hop back off. Let's try it one more time.
And again, this is
Kinda
so
practice
important
dismount.
because
And so
you
this
get
is-
to do this in a
dismount's
controlled
like probably
situation.
actually, the release
And,
is oftentimes
it's
more dangerous
invaluable.
than the capture. Because by the time
I
this
got
animal's
to
been
do this
sitting
with
here for
Fred,
10,
my friend
30
Lonnie,
minutes, whatever an hour that you've done
two
your
amazing
manipulations and
Gator
sampling
guys
and
and
measures
Dr.
whatever,
Matt.
he's all super rested again.
He's one of the
and
best.
He's really angry.
So it's
all right?
really, really cool
So
that
dismount
you
can
get
be-
to
can be
actually
dangerous.
work
And this is
with
why you
people
kind of want
like
to make it
this.
one fluid motion.
So if
and
some
off
of
the
you
back
out there
side.
want to become
But the
a
last thing to
zoologist
come
or
off,
a zookeeper,
like if you can do it from the ground,
I recommend
one fluid motion,
taking
and
this
everything off
course.
at the same time, that's ideal.
invaluable.
If you can't, last thing to come off of those hands from the neck, because that's your control point, right? But then just make sure when you're keeping the hands on the neck, you don't want to be leaning too far forward, because if your ass is off the animal and the only thing that's supporting your body weight is your hands, and he starts to struggle, you're gonna fall right in front of the animal's mouth. All right.
Okay, there we go.
All right. So you're kind of close to the danger zone. What I would do is try to go more backwards, and then basically keep going until you're outside of the swing range of the tail. All right. And if you're ready, we can try it again.
Let's see how she does the second time around.
Ready?
Ready.
All right, so foot, step, knees, hands, knees.
And yeah.
Ready?
Ready.
Where did I put my foot the first
So
time?
you basically, like, your foot went like right up in
Okay.
here. So you got short legs, so you're obviously going to step somewhere in this area.
Yeah.
Just you don't want to be in a position to accidentally like trigger
Okay,
his
so
instinct.
shoot for stepping.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. All right. So good. Just hold on. If they do that, they're going to swing around on you. Their tails are going to come up. It's totally fine, as long as what you're focused on is not losing control here. And then the second you feel, you're a pretty small person, so if you feel like you need help, then what you say real quick is, hey Matt, can you grab the tail, or help me in the back, or whatever it is, okay? All right, how you doing? All right, let's practice closing the hands, the jaws with your hands. So again, what you're gonna do,
It's really cool. I mean, you know, the fact that this is a controlled situation is one thing, but we're dealing with a live animal, and so you saw that animal move a little bit. I think she did a good job. She didn't freak out. She stayed on it. Sometimes, and we might see this today, the animal will roll while you're actually on top of it, and it's going to be interesting to see how they handle that. But it is normal for them to be a little nervous like this. It's their first time working with these kind of animals in the size. Many of them only work with hatchlings. If they're from zoos up north, they're not working with really big gators. And believe it or not, some of these are actually fairly good size. So pretty cool stuff.
and you feel like you're losing control, there's two things that you can do.